What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show with another video. Now, forewarning, I am sick, so you can probably hear it in my voice a little bit. But I had to make a video. I just finished To Be Hero X. I just seen like the last episode for the season, and I gotta make a video on it because to me, this is my favorite anime of the season, and I just gotta show my support. I feel like it was, in a sense, an underrated anime. Like people knew about it for sure. People reacted to it. People watched it, but not enough people for me. I'm not gonna lie. So without further ado, let's talk about To Be Hero X.
Subscribe or bear the hatred of the Uchiha. Wake up to reality.
Now, To Be Hero X is an anime that takes the concept of superheroes, but it pushes it into a different territory than most shows. To make it simple, it's a story where heroes are not born through training or divine intervention or just having powers, but rather collective faith. If people believe that somebody can fly, then that belief manifests into an actual power. Not gonna lie, when you look at it, like just that premise alone, it's a super cool premise because it's a twist on the traditional superhero. In a sense, it's kind of like The Boys, only in the fact that, like, if you think about like Homelander, right? If you ever seen The Boys, I'm gonna spoil it. If you ever seen The Boys, Homelander, he is a hero that is very strong. His power is not based off belief of anything, but he loves his image so much, and he does things, even though he's stronger than certain people, he does things so he doesn't ruin his image. He likes to be in the public eye. Except for in To Be Hero X, it's different because it's literally your power. Like, if they believe you can fly, you will fly. If they believe you lost your flight, you will lose your flight abilities. And if you think about that on a deeper level, it reveals the fragile, fickle relationship between, public perception and true ideas. Like, you gotta think about it. You'll end up becoming like Vought and just making superheroes just based off the image. You know what I'm saying? Like superheroes that are popular, and they get a lot of power because they're popular, but they don't really do much of anything. You also have like the top hero, right? So the top hero is X. So that's why the anime is named To Be Hero X. Basically, all the heroes are trying to fight to be the number one ranking, the number one guy, the number one girl. They're all trying to be in this tournament. This tournament is like a thing where they basically fight to be number one, or they fight to change ranking. The cool thing about this show is that it definitely has a power system that goes up and down. It's like literally the power of friendship, but done in such a great way that people would never hate it. Because at one moment you could be either losing a fight and somebody really believes in you and you get the strength that you need, or you could be losing a fight and people lose faith in you and you just lose everything. It's entirely depending on the people, the mob mentality. Now, I won't get into really any of the characters. I think you should watch it. I'll talk a little bit about Nice, who is our main character. Now, I would like to mention, well, Nice is not really our main character, and I'll explain right now, actually. So, basically the way that this anime works, it's kind of like I believe the word is anthology. And in a sense, not really. I think anthologies means they're not connected between characters, but basically it's a whole bunch of characters that we get to see throughout the show. So like every episode is 24 episodes. So like every 3 or 4 episodes, you'll see a new hero, right? And then all of their stories just kind of seem like they're separated and they don't really have much to do with each other. But later on, you find out they definitely do have similarities in the story. You can think of it as like it's all one shared world, and they're making their own MCU all in one series, in a sense. One thing I do like about this anime, and I feel like it's happened with a lot of superhero shows like Invincible and Boys. The reason why people like it so much is because we've seen so many Marvel superheroes save lives, and the stakes aren't that high. The stakes are high in this. Like, people die. People will actually die. It's not your basic PG type of anime. Like, people will die. There will be hardships. There will be struggles. It's everything you could pretty much expect from an anime superhero show. I really wish I could talk about it more. Like, I really wish I can really get into everything, because there's a mysterious character, right? Like X, and you don't really know who X is until like the last couple of episodes of the season. I think that they could have left it a mystery, and I would have hated that. I feel like the direction of this anime in general is just great. It can be a little confusing, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you're not really paying attention, if you're just kind of doing something while you're playing, you kind of miss some stuff because it kind of jumps around in different timelines. Basically, the best way to think about that is that the first character that we get introduced to, Nice, he is like the present, right? He definitely is like the present, so that means everything after him is the past. You know what I'm saying? We get to kind of see that build up, right? And there's a different animation style with this anime, and weirdly enough, it actually comes full circle. You actually learn that there's actually a purpose, and it's really cool when you figure it out. So the animation in the beginning is kind of like a 3D stylish animation. So if that kind of throws you off, then don't worry, because they do have your traditional like 2D style of animation going on later. Now I gotta say one thing, the fights in this anime are gorgeous. They look really good, and no matter what art style they put them in, it looks all great. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like that's one of the best things about this anime is the fighting. And what you do when you mix good fighting, good choreographed moves with a really good story, you get a Demon Slayer thing, but like even better. I'm not saying that animation is on Demon Slayer level, but what I mean by that is that Demon Slayer is always talked about for not having enough story, and the story is very generic. I feel like To Be Hero has an amazing premise, an amazing story. It does seem a little confusing, like I said earlier. If you don't really know what to look for, you got to really kind of pay attention, because you got to think this anime is taking place in different time periods, right? Sometimes they might jump around to different times. You just got to really pay attention to that, and really get focused on anime. It's gonna seem like one of them anime that don't really make sense until the very end. And I've come to realize that I love anime like this. This is like my favorite anime genre, because this is something like Durarara, if you ever watched that, where it's just like a series of events that seem random and seem like they're not connected, but in reality they're all very connected. That, and then Baccano was another good one. Just a lot of things happening, a lot of random things happening, and it's entertaining for sure. But if you watch it and you don't finish it, you're like, story's kind of all over the place, until the very end. You're like, oh wait, no, it's not all over the place. Everything connects, everything is together. And I feel like that's one of the best things about this specific anime. It's it's 24 episodes. Every episode, every arc is entertaining enough to where you can really enjoy it without stories connecting. And then when you get towards the parts where the story actually connects, you're like, wow, okay, that was fire. And I feel like every week it was coming out, I was always saying, oh, this hero is my favorite, this hero is my favorite. They've wrote such good heroes, and the thing about it, the first hero that we see might be my favorite. You know what I'm saying? That's how good the story is. They kind of bounce around between different characters, but they're all unique and they're all interesting in their own ways. I don't feel like I was bored at no moment watching the show. Oh, one thing that needs to be said, right, and I can't speak much about it, they have a R farmer on the level of Gojo and probably beyond, to be honest. This guy is just such a cool character. You won't meet him until late into the show, but he is such an amazing and cool character. That was actually, apparently, what I did not know is that they have released a concept trailer for To Be Hero X a while back. It's like 2 years old at this point that you can go watch, and it shows like a lot of stuff that isn't meant to be seen until later, I guess. Well, at this point, I really want to talk about it, so let's actually get to like the spoilery part. If you've already seen To Be Hero X and we just want to talk about X himself, I'm giving yourself now to kind of click off the video, you know what I'm saying, to save yourself from being spoiled. Okay, so with that being said, spoiler warning being out, to be honest, I really love the idea of X. After I watched like the 23rd episodes and I was going to the 24th, I had seen that somebody has commented basically like there was a thing that showed you a different point of view. You get this episode with the dog and you see X really for the first time, and there's a different point of view that you can look at on YouTube that came out 2 years ago, and it's absolutely incredible. It is a fight between X and some shadowy people, and he's just absolutely destroying them. And then I got to watch the last episode and really see him flex his powers. He is probably one of the most interesting characters I've seen in anime. Just off rip. I haven't seen him much this season, but he's such a fire character. He's like Gojo, but like way more chill and way more mysterious. I'm really curious to see what they do with this character going forward. My current favorite character will probably either be Ling Ling or Ghost Blade was a good one. Obviously X. So if I'm not mistaken, they had a version of Nice, right? At the end of the show, he was there at the tournament. So I'm really curious to see. I heard that the creator said that he would let people vote on who he wanted to win or who they wanted to win the tournaments and stuff, and that would have a big impact on where the story goes. That's an interesting look. Hopefully, you know, from a writing standpoint, it can be pulled out. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.